Testing. Hello. Testing. Yes. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. I'm sweating. I look like shit. This is a pretty high def camera, so I mean, high def enough where I can do this. I might zoom in a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit more. And no, the camera's not off center. You're just crazy. How about that? Anyways, crazy person. People listening to me. Damn. So I went fishing today. Excuse me. I went fishing today with my father, my brother, and his two friends. It was a pretty good day. We got 3 mahi, decent size, and one little tuna. I forget what it's called though. I think it's a bonita. Anyways, it was a good day. The engine, something happened to the engine. So like these are brand new, not brand new, but they're new on our boat. They're used, great condition, Yamaha 250 horsepower each engine, and it's on a 25-foot Mako. And this is like the 3rd time we've taken it out since my father got it fixed. And we somehow got a shit ton of line wrapped up in the prop. And as we were like almost back to the marina, the alarm went off for the engine overheating. So the engine started to overheat, and we had to shut it off for like, I don't know, like a minute. And we just kept going because we were right by the dock, and the engine still runs, but like it definitely overheated and caused some issues. And we did get back on both engines, prop moving. It was just working really hard to do that, considering it was kind of stuck with all that line. It was a lot of line. Like we cut through a bunch of it. We even got back here home, unhooked the trailer, fucking tried cutting into that. Nothing. Well, we have to take, like, we got most of it off, but we actually have to take the prop off, the propeller, and that's what's going to give us access to the rest of where the line is. We don't think it went in there, like into the actual, shaft, but it did. It could have fucked up, brand new engine right now, which, I mean, I hope it's all good. I pray it's gonna be good. I'm a scientist at heart, but I'm also a Christian at heart, and I'm gonna fucking pray for that because damn. So yeah, it was a fun day, fun Saturday. And it's funny. Me and my brother were just talking about like making money, as we live in Miami, and we're young, So like. We're saying like, isn't it crazy how like there are people that come here? My brother was saying, how crazy is it that we have people that come here from Cuba or come here from, fill in the blank country in Latin America, and those people just refuse to learn to speak English. Like he said, he was talking to a Cuban couple, older, like our parents' age, and at his job, he works at a gym. It's an expensive gym. It's like $180 per month. And he was trying to explain that to these people who only spoke Spanish. And he was explaining that he needed to print something out for them to register. And they were like, ¿Qué? Like what? Because he said printer. He said, yo tengo que usar el printer, which means I need to use the printer, and I forget what it's called. My dad actually gave us the name. It's like el primere, la prima. I think it's la prima, or I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Whoever speaks Spanish is actually from Latin America. Let us know. But we were saying like, my brother brought that up because it is true that you have people that like just pull up like they were living in a third world country in Venezuela, Cuba. They move here It's not like their family gives them thousands of dollars, but they just happen upon jobs that pay a shit ton of money. They usually have to do with boats, cars, and real estate also. But dude, like, and I'm not. I don't know why, but a lot of people assume that that's me complaining, or I don't know. But let me just stop you right there. That's not what's going on. It's just like a genuinely like interesting phenomenon. Like, how the fuck do they get these jobs that pay so much money, and like, because they blow bread. Like, I see, and the case could be made that they sell drugs. A case could definitely be made for that. Hold on. Gotta take the pouch out. But yeah, if you live here in Miami, you would know what I'm talking about. Maybe it happens in your city, but because I'm able to go in between speaking English and Spanish very easily. I know how to speak Spanish very well. I can't say the same for other people who are from Miami and are Hispanic. And just for context, I was born here. My parents were born in Cuba in the 60s. And they moved here. They both got here, I believe, in the same year, 1980. So my parents finished middle school here. They did all of high school here, college. They've lived basically their entire lives here. They moved here when they were like 9 and 11, something like that. So they learned English, and they had an accent for a while, but now, like, I mean, yeah, they have an accent, especially the Miami accent, which a lot of people know what that, maybe you know what it sounds like. I might have it as I'm talking right now, but to other Hispanics here who don't know how to speak English, they like, if they hear me speak like this, how I'm speaking right now in English, before I start having a conversation with them, you could see like the panic in their face. And then I just pull up and I'm like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Mi nombre es Ángel. ¿Con qué te puedo ayudar? ¿Qué necesitas de mí? Like, which means like, how can I help you? What do you need from me? If it's a service related job I'm doing, or if it's my current, field, speaking about health insurance to elderly women. Yeah, I'm like, hola señora, sí. Hoy te voy a ayudar con sus beneficios de doctor y de medicina. Just, and even that I don't consider good. I have like kind of a dry mouth right now, so let me just take a little sippy sip of this apple juice that I have here. That's good apple juice. Wow. Anyways, where was I? I was saying something about my Spanish. It's very good. Sí, mi español es muy bueno. Yo de verdad no me preocupo por hablar. Bueno, me preocupo un poquitico por hablar español delante de con alguien que habla español como de su primer lengua, su primer idioma. Ves que yo tengo como unos, en inglés se dice gap, unos espacios vacíos en mi vocabulario de español, vocabulario de español. Ya tú ves que me confundo unas veces. So basically what I said there, hopefully I can do AI subtitles and I can cut this part out, but I was basically saying that, you see, I can speak Spanish pretty well. That sound great, but then there's like gaps that I have in like certain nouns or adjectives, in my vocabulary. Vocabulario. Yo, it takes me a second to say those. Admittedly, those are the ones that I struggle with a little bit, but I mean, it's weird because if I don't think about it, if like there are times when like I've caught myself speaking Spanish like for like 10-20 minutes with somebody, and like noticing 10-20 minutes into it, like, oh shit, you've been doing this completely, because my brain, like my Broca and Wernicke's area, which are the speech centers of the brain, speech and language processing centers, them shits, they do their own kind of like, it does its own autopilot, if you will. That's better than the concentrated pilot mode sometimes. In fact, like when I realize that I've been doing it for X amount of time, and I start realizing that I've been saying words that I have forgotten for like years, or like have just always escaped me, even though I know them, because that happens too. Motherfucking, then I'll start fucking up my Spanish speaking once I start thinking about it. So, you know, just kind of back to what I wanted to, just to bring it back to what I made this whole podcast for, was just that, that was a funny thing, that my brother brought up today, because it's so true. Like, there's so many fucking people here from all over Latin America that just do not know English. And, bruh, some of them have been here for like 40 fucking years. So, it's not. Is it a bad thing? I don't fucking know. I'm Hispanic. I'm Cuban. What the fuck? Cuban with like bloodline mostly Arabic, Moroccan, before my family came from Spain, I guess, to Cuba. That's what the ancestry says. You gotta do the DNA, but look at me. You should see my fucking. I'm a little hairy. Not to talk shit, but it is kind of true. I learned this in biology. The people of Arabic descent tend to be hairier, including women, and I only know that because. Never mind. That's not PG-13, but I think I'm pretty much done. Unless you guys want to add something, maybe I don't know. I feel like I've made a good case here for. Not a case, but I felt like I gave you a good little story, more info about Miami. This is the Miami podcast. But seriously, please. Oh, I'm sorry if you heard that. It's just like rattling a little bit. But please like, share, comment, subscribe. Yeah, if you can subscribe, that'd be really cool. I can't see fucking shit, so I'm sorry if I've been looking like a little like. It's because like I'm trying to focus on myself. The camera's a little far. But yeah. All right, I'm just gonna upload this. Not even really gonna edit it. Just gonna like that rapper. The guy that goes. Whoever that guy is, bro. He has to be a fucking CIA fucking psyop plant. Like, there's no way that's real. Anyways, I bid you all a good evening, and don't eat too much sweets before bed. Okay, bye.